Hi VC, this is Aaron with Alamare, and today I'm finishing the R's in my collection. And last time I did the R's, I had one in my play pile, my play stack, so I didn't include it in there. So I got to start with that. This is the Raconteurs with Help a Stranger. Really great record. It's Jack White from White Stripes. It's his other band, and I really love this record. It's probably my favorite record he's ever done. There's the label. It starts out with Born and Raised, which I really love that song, and Don't Bother Me is really good. It's all really good. I really love the Donovan cover of Hey Gyp, Dig the Slowness. That's killer. Really good record. Highly recommend that one. And then next up, I've got the very best of Johnny Rivers. Pretty good record here. Maybelline, Midnight Special, good stuff. Secret Agent Man, pretty good stuff there. And next up, I've got a British heavy metal all-female rock trio, Rock Goddess. Pretty good record here. Kind of like a heavier version of the Runaways in a way. A couple of the songs kind of have that sound to it. Really good stuff. These two here are sisters. It's Julie and Jodie Turner, and the bass player is Dee O'Malley. So yeah, they're really good actually. I like this record. And then I've got some Kenny Rogers. I'm not a big country fan, but my grandparents used to listen to this all the time, and I'd hear them traveling a lot of the time. And this is Daytime Friends. There's a label there, United Artist. And then Kenny Rogers and Dottie West. Don't really know this record very well. I'm sure a lot of you do. And this, of course, is The Gambler. Had a bunch of big hits on this one. And this is the one I know the best, is Greatest Hits. And, this is the ones that my grandparents would play this, and I know the songs from this one the best. It's all, his big songs there. And then next up, I've got one of the greatest classic rock bands ever. It's a lot of people's favorites. Probably my third favorite. I like the Beatles and probably the Animals, and then the Rolling Stones, and this is Out of Their Heads. Really good record, early Stones. I like the, much like the Beatles, the early Stones had a lot of covers on them, and then they began to get more prolific in their songwriting. But this one had Satisfaction and Play with Fire. Those are great songs. And, it's a pretty good record all the way through. There's a label there. And then I got the Rolling Stones Now. Heart of Stone was the big single off this one. Another good early record of them. And then December's Children and Everybody's. Probably my most beat up Rolling Stones record. It's got a split in there. Split seam. But it's on the Red London label. Plays pretty good though. And then here's one of their best of their early ones. Maybe my favorite of their early records. This is Aftermath. This has Under My Thumb and Paint It Black. Really great stuff there. I'm a pretty big Rolling Stones fan. I like them a lot. And then Between the Buttons, another great record. It's still in the shrink. And this one plays amazingly. Really good sounding. Great record here. Let's Spend the Night Together, of course. Ruby Tuesday. Good stuff here. And then here's an early compilation of them. This is really good, actually. It's Flowers. Good record here. Really like Mother's Little Helper. I like how Tesla did it too on their 5-man acoustical jam. That was really good. And then I got an early live record of them called Get Your Yayas Out. Rolling Stones in concert. I've had this record for 30 years or more. Probably 40. I've had this for a long time, this copy. And then I've got Big Hits, High Tide, and Green Grass. And Brian Jones on the cover right in the front there. And this is a repress, but it sounds amazing. It's not a newer repress. It's probably from the 80s. I'd imagine. It's got, It's an early best of course. Good stuff. Pretty cool label there too. And then their Satanic Majesty's Request. Doesn't have the lenticular cover, but I like this record. I really love 2000 Man, especially since Ace Frehley did it, and he's one of my favorites. And love how they did that on Dynasty Kiss. And the cool thing about this, I never really noticed until recently. Well, is there's George Harrison right there and John Lennon right there, kind of Sgt. Pepperish. And on Sgt. Pepper, the Beatles put Rolling Stones. It says Rolling Stones on the cover of that one, so they kind of played homage to each other. That was pretty cool. This, of course, has She's a Rainbow on it, and pretty good record there. It's really different, psychedelic, good stuff. I got 2 copies of this. I'll show the. This is the repress, and it's a really killer sounding Sticky Fingers. Great record. Has the top, opens from the top there. Has the insert here. Really good record here. Brown Sugar is a great song. Sway, Wild Horses, Can't You Hear Me Knocking's great. Bitch is one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs. I love that song. Dead Flowers, this is a really good record. One of their best ones. And then I do have a beat up copy of the one with the zipper. And here's a really good one here. This is a Goat's Head Soup. Really good record here. Kind of one of their most underrated. There's the record here. Yeah, this is a good one here. I really like this. Heartbreaker on there, yeah. And then Beggar's Banquet, another really good one. This era of the last few records and coming up the next couple is probably my favorite era of the Stones. I like this record a lot too. Sympathy for the Devil, of course, is on here. Street Fighting Man, good stuff. And then I've got Hot Rocks, their double album, best of. I've had this one forever too. This is I've had this probably for over 30 years, 30 or 40 years as well. It's the best of all the early stuff. It's really good. And then I've got Exile on Main Street, another really great record. This is one of their best. Double record. Really killer. I love Tumbling Dice. There's a lot of good stuff on this one. Great record. Exile on Main Street's one of the best. And then Let It Bleed, another really good record. Give Me Shelter, maybe my favorite song they did. I don't know, it's one of them. I love that song. Monkey Man, that's really cool too. Country Honk, it's all good. Good record. And this is on a clear vinyl. Sounds really good. Really killer sound on that. And then It's Only Rock and Roll. Another really good one. I love that song. The best version of that song though is Twisted Sister. They did a live album called Big Hits Nasty Cuts back, and they took some songs from a live show they did in 82 or 83, and that song, listen to that Twisted Sister version, you'll never hear it the same way. It's great. It's amazing. But I love this album. This is really good. Then we got Love You Live, double live record. This is really good. It's got a lot of their era that I really love. Pretty good record here. They're always a pretty good live band. They were a good live band. Really good stuff. And then one of the mini covers of this, Some Girls. It's got Miss You and Shattered. Great stuff on this one too. Beast of Burden was on here. This is a really good record. There's the label there. And then this here's probably my best sounding Rolling Stones record, but it's probably my least favorite. Black and Blue, Japanese pressing. It sounds amazing, really clean. Just pops out of the stereo. And, the Japanese pressings, they have a lot of extras that are pretty cool. They're pretty cool things, pretty cool records. And then we've got some Emotional Rescue, another really good one. I actually like this album a lot. I like that song. She's So Cold. I really like that song a lot too, of course. Great record. And Tattoo You. Love this one too. Hard to Beat, Start Me Up. That song's just so good. And Hang Fire. That's a great one too. They had some good songs. Really good band. Then I've got some Still Life American Concert, 1981. And this is cool. It's got Under My Thumb, Let's Spend the Night Together, Shattered, 20 Flight Rock, Going to a Go-Go, Let Me Go, Time Is on My Side, Imagination, Start Me Up, and Satisfaction. So pretty good lineup there. And there's the inner. And then that same label with the tongue. And then I've got Undercover, Dancing Undercover. Undercover of the Night, great song. And Rewind. This is like a best of their 80s. Really good stuff on here. This is actually a really good compilation. Really like this one. And we'll finish out the Stones with Dirty Work. Harlem Shuffle, of course, is on this. Kind of a mixed record. I mean, it's good, but it's not one of my favorites. It's got some good songs on it, though. All of them have good songs. And next up, I've got the Rollins Band with Lifetime. This is a good record here. This is a repress, but it's really good sounding. I like Henry Rollins. There's a pretty cool vinyl there, cool colors there. And the next up, I've got kind of an underrated band from the 80s, a pop rock band. I really like them. I used to listen to them a lot back when I was a teenager, early teens, before I got into heavy metal. It's Romantics debut. Of course, this has What I Like About You on it. It was a big single, but this whole album's pretty good. It's kind of that same vein as that song. Pretty good album. And then I've got their follow-up, In Heat, which I Talking in My Sleep on it. They're a pretty good band, actually. I really enjoy these records. They're good. And then I've got Linda Ronstadt's Greatest Hits. Had this record since I was a kid, so I really know this one very well. I don't know much of her stuff except for what's on this record, but she's a great singer. And I always talk about the heavy metal bands doing songs, but it's hard to think of You're No Good without thinking of the Van Halen song. Yeah, it's got some good stuff on there. And I also have Simple Dreams by Linda Ronstadt. And it's a gatefold. And it's pretty cool. She kind of got the Eagles their start. They were kind of her backing band. And she basically got the Eagles going, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this guy Did So Easy on it. That's a good song. And then we've got Get Closer. And that's the last I have of her. And the only one I have by this artist is Diana Ross, just called Diana. I saw someone else showing this not long ago, saying they're really getting into this record. I can't remember who it was. But yeah, it's 80s Diana Ross. If you like that, it's good. I'm Coming Up is on this. Yeah, that's probably the only one I know very well. Upside Down. Oh yeah, it's on here. And then this band is really interesting. This is the Rossington Collins Band. And this is two of the members from Lynyrd Skynyrd, Gary Rossington and Alan Collins. They formed a band. They have a female singer on this. Also has Billy Powell from Lynyrd Skynyrd. Leon Wilkinson from bass player. It's pretty much Lynyrd Skynyrd. It's a lot of them. But it's those two guitarists that are really killer that are on that. It's a pretty good record. And I also have their follow-up, This Is the Way. Both these are gatefolds. Well, that was definitely post-Skynyrd. Pretty good stuff. And now I've got some David Lee Roth. And I'm going to start off with Crazy from the Heat. Their first EP he did, right after Van Halen. It's got Easy Street, Just a Gigolo, California Girls, and Coconut Grove. Really different album for him. It's you know, it's not heavy rocking like his other stuff, but it's really good. I've seen the videos for those a million times on MTV whenever out. And then this is a great record here, Eat 'Em and Smile. Of course, at this point he had Steve Vai on guitar, and Billy Sheehan and Greg Bissonette in the band. And, you know, Yankee Rose and Going Crazy and Elephant Gun, Big Trouble. Really great album. Killer guitar work. David Roth is a really underrated songwriter. He's really good. I like him a lot. I prefer him to the Van Halen. I prefer the David Lee Roth era, but I like the Hagar as well. And I like them both solo, so I like both of them. And here's Skyscraper. It's a little more melodic, not quite as heavy, but it's got some good stuff on it too. I really like Hot Dog and a Shake. Perfect Timing's good. The Bottom Line's great. Damn Good. Then it had the big hits, you know, Just Like Paradise and Stand Up. Knuckle Bones, that's another really good one. This is a good record too. A lot of people don't like this one as well, but I really like it. And then my favorite David Lee Roth record, A Little Ain't Enough. I love this record. All the way through, it's great. You know, Shoot It and Lady Luck and Hammerhead Shark is great. Tell the Truth. 40 Below, I love that song. Sensible Shoes. Drop in the Bucket. This is a great record. This is, for after he left Van Halen, I think this is my favorite record of him, Van Halen, or Hagar, any other solo. This is my favorite of all of it. Anything past 1984. I love this record. And then I've got Your Filthy Little Mouth. A little bit different. You had a different lineup on here. It's a good album. She's My Machine was the single, and you know, it's got Big Train on here, and Hey You Never Know is really good. You're Breathing It's a little different. Land's Edge, Sunburn, I really love that song. And he did a song called Cheating Heart Cafe with Travis Tritt, which I actually like a lot. This is a really good record. This is a harder one to find. Pretty hard record to get here. It's really good. And one of my favorite bands of the 80s. Very underrated. I love this band. This is Rough Cut, their debut. And this album I listen to a lot. I still listen to this a lot. It just starts out with Take Her, and I the guitar on that. It's got Never Gonna Die, Dreaming Again, Cut Your Heart Out, You Keep Breaking My Heart. This is a great record. And Paul Sortino is a vocalist. He's really good. He appeared on the self-titled Quiet Riot record after Kevin DuBrow left for a while. And great record. I love this. And this record of them is a little heavier, but I don't like it quite as much, but it's almost as good. Rough Cut Wants You. Another great record. You know, Rock the USA, Don't Settle for Less. We Like It Loud, You Want to Be a Star. They're just a great band. I love them. I wish they would have put out more albums, but they never really broke big. They were like early to mid 80s. Little right before the glam metal took control of the music airwaves. Here's another heavy glam band. This is Roxanne. Pretty good record here. Nothing to Lose, that's a really good song. Cherry Baby, Sweet Maria. They're a little more melodic, not as heavy, and they're not really keyboard oriented, but they're not as heavy as a lot of the other bands, but they're pretty good on Scotty Brothers. And this is a more modern band. This is and this is a duo, and I'm trying to remember the name of the album. I think it's just self-titled. This is a oh no, here we go. How Do We Get So Dark by Royal Blood. And I like Royal Blood. I prefer their first album to this, but this is a pretty good record too. It's decent. And I try to look it up on Discogs, and usually they have a title or something here. I can't find another one that's just plain like this. I don't know what the deal is with that. So it's a pretty good record though. Pretty cool inner. And then they've got just the songs on that side of the label. And this here is one of my 2 hip-hop, rap, whatever you want to call it, records. I have 2 in my whole collection. This is one. This is Run DMC, Raising Hell, picture disc. Of course, I had Walk This Way on it, and it's tricky. But, you know, it's not my favorite. I'm not a big fan of hip-hop and rap, but I got a couple. And then, unfortunately, I only have 2 albums by this band because I traded a bunch of them away. I'll start building up my collection again. This is Rush, A Farewell to Kings. pretty good record here. I mean, they're great musicians. I'm not a huge fan of Geddy Lee's voice, but on some of it I really like it. But yeah, they're a good band. Closer to the Heart was on here. Xanadu is a great song. Yeah, I need to get more of them again. And then I've got Moving Pictures. This is I got Tom Sawyer and YYZ, Limelight. Probably the most commercially successful record. And yeah, that's pretty good. And unfortunately, this is the only album I have by this band, and I really love them. It's the Runaways live, Agora Ballroom in Cleveland, July 19th, 1976. Really, really good live record. And there's the track list. But yeah, this is some good stuff. It's got Joan Jett and Lita Ford and Cherry Curry. Really good sounding live record too. It's really good. I want to get their studio records. I just haven't stumbled upon them yet. And so that takes care of the R's for me. Next up is the S's, and that's going to take 3 or 4 probably sections to get through them. It's a lot of hard rock and metal in there. A lot of solo pop rock guys in there too. Really good stuff in the S's. That's one of the best letters. So, all right. Until next time, everyone rock on.